Hello there, welcome to the South East Today newsroom. This is what's on the programme this Tuesday evening. Our lead story is an exclusive story that a secret agent who actually infiltrated the IRA on behalf of the British security services claims that he has now been abandoned by those people that he loyally served and that he has been left to live destitute with severe mental health problems. We'll have an exclusive report from our Home Affairs correspondent Colin Campbell.
I'm totally paranoid. I keep a gun by my bed. I've got personality disorders, I've got PTSD. Paranoia is your best friend. You know, I don't even open the door sometimes.
Raymond Gilmour infiltrated the IRA at the height of the Troubles in Northern Ireland. Photographed holding a rifle on the streets of Londonderry, for 7 years he risked his life, secretly feeding information about paramilitary operations to the security services.
I knew my life expectancy wasn't very, very long. My role was to gather intelligence, information about operations that would sort of endanger life. I could have been shot by a soldier, I could have been shot by an IRA man, I could have been shot by internal services.
He started working as an RUC Special Branch agent inside the Irish National Liberation Army at the age of 17. When his identity was compromised, he says he was told by his handler to move on to the IRA. But after 2 years, his cover was blown when police used information he had supplied to recover a machine gun.
I brought the INLA to their knees in Derry. I brought the Provisional IRA to their knees in Derry. And I've saved countless amount of lives. And if I'm being treated like this after so many years, what do you think people down the chain, smaller chain, are being treated like?
A secret agent forced to live in the shadows for almost 30 years. Raymond Gilmour claims he's been spectacularly failed by the organisation which he says he served loyally. He is adamant he helped to save many British lives and feels as if he's been left high and dry.
I am living on a knife edge because of my mental health. I have no financial stability, which I was promised. I have nothing.
This is surely one of the most extraordinary cases to be outlined to a Northern Ireland court. Raymond Gilmour, a native of Londonderry's strongly Republican Cregan area, was, the prosecution says, an agent working under...
Becoming a supergrass witness in what was at the time the biggest criminal trial in Irish and British history earned him an IRA death sentence. Graffiti in Derry spelt out the threat. On his word, 35 Republicans were rounded up and charged. But the evidence was sensationally dismissed. The IRA suspects set free. Raymond Gilmour was branded a liar. Judge Lord Lowry described you as being entirely unworthy of belief. What do you make of that?
I was heartbroken, I was disgusted, and I was unbelievable. I knew I was telling the truth. I was told there was obviously deals by RUC men behind the scenes, that decisions had to be made that wouldn't be palatable for me. So, and I was sort of I was going to be the fall guy.
Forced to live under a false identity, Raymond Gilmour claims he was at the time promised £500,000, a new home, psychiatric support and a pension by his MI5 handlers. Instead, he says he was provided modest accommodation, monthly payments, no job and a false identity that he claims doesn't stand up to scrutiny.
Basically then thrown to the wolves, and after 3 years the money stopped. The £600 a month stopped, you know, and I was in limbo. I didn't know where to go. Then my mental health started deteriorating, you know, because I'd felt totally lost and alone.
The contractual agreements between an agent, that's who we're talking about, who worked for the government in the dirtiest war ever this side of Kosovo, that agent should be protected and should be given his contractual obligations.
For some, though, Raymond Gilmour is still remembered as a traitor, guilty of betrayal.
There'll be no love lost for him, there'll be no sympathy for him, and it doesn't come unexpected that when the MI5 are finished with people, they discard them.
With the assistance of his MP, he is now taking his case to the Investigatory Powers Tribunal, a body which examines complaints against the intelligence services.
Is this just about money?
Not at all. It's about the betrayal of the intelligence services, security services towards me.
It's suggested Raymond Gilmour's case could have serious repercussions for the UK's intelligence services, in particular how they care for intelligence agents, not just those in Northern Ireland, but those now being employed to help in the fight against Islamic terrorism.
The establishment will always need agents, good agents, to infiltrate organisations. Basically, no matter where you are in the world, they'll always be needed. But the point is, you've got to honour your debts to them and look after them as best way you can.
The Home Office say they do not comment on intelligence matters. Raymond Gilmour accepts going public could endanger his life. A recovering alcoholic, former Supergrass secret agent with severe mental health problems, he says he's been left with little choice.
Raymond Gilmour infiltrated the IRA at the height of the Troubles in Northern Ireland. A Supergrass witness, he later earned himself an IRA death sentence.
I brought the provisional IRA to their knees in Derry, and I've saved countless amount of lives.
But living under a false identity for almost 30 years, he says he's been failed by the intelligence services.
The contractual agreements between an agent, that's who we're talking about, who worked for the government in the dirtiest war ever, the side of Kosovo, that agent should be protected and should be given his contractual obligations.
For some, though, Raymond Gilmour is still remembered as a traitor guilty of betrayal. With the assistance of his MP, he is now taking his case to the Investigatory Powers Tribunal, a body which examines complaints against the intelligence services.
Is this just about money?
Not at all. It's about the betrayal of the intelligence services, security services towards me.
The Home Office say they do not comment on intelligence matters. Raymond Gilmour accepts speaking out could endanger his life, but he says he's been left with little choice. Colin Campbell, BBC News.